Hello everybody and welcome back to my first tutorial from within Road to Eden. In today's episode I will just show you new players how to get the resources needed to start on your journey. In an upcoming update you will be able to punch trees and rocks to get the first materials to craft your first pickaxe and your first hatchet. But right now what you have to do is that you have to look around in the area you're at and wait for resources to spawn on the ground, sticks, logs and stone. And this takes a while, and that's why the developer Suking has decided to do the update where you can punch the trees and stones instead. For a small payment of health you will get the resources you need to get started. Not all trees can be cut down. The ones that can be chopped down is looking like this tree and this tree. Notice how the bark is, and if you find another tree that does not have this kind of bark, you cannot chop it down. An easy way to see if it's actually working is by equipping your axe, swing once, and you will see that it starts to chop off a section of it. And then you just cut it down and you will mostly get wood, and sometimes you get some sticks. And once the tree can't give you more, it will just fall over. You might clip through the ground for just a few seconds, and then you can enjoy some fun game physics. Now it's just dead, you can't do anything else with it, and you just move on to the next one. You also have these ones, the brown looking bush trees. They are the alnus plant. And the alnus is what you use to make plant fiber. So you just cut down some, and in your inventory you will see it looks like some weeds. And that's what you use to make fiber. When it comes to stones, you have a lot of different kinds of stones. You have these that will give you stone, but not that much of it. You might get like 1 or 2 depending on what kind of pickaxe you use. Since I'm using an iron pickaxe, I can get 2 stones maximum from these kinds of stones. What you want to look for that are spread out, it does not have to be in the mountains, it can be wherever you're lucky enough to find it. You might find these kinds of rocks. And these kinds of rocks will give you sometimes sulfur, iron, coal and stone. As you can see, I'm not getting that much stone and iron from it, but once you've depleted the resource, it will crumble and it will give you way more stone. So this is the best rock you can mine to get stone. So instead of having to mine on ages on rocks like this, you just mine one of those yellow ones, and it would be a significant increase of speed compared to any other rocks. Once you spend some time in an area, you might see that resources spawn on the ground. In this case, a wooden stick spawned near me. That is how you usually get the resources you need in the beginning to get your basic tools. But like I said before, it will change in an upcoming update, because it takes a while for it to spawn, and a lot of people don't have the patience to look around for half an hour and up to an hour to find the basic materials, when you can just loot a building and maybe even find an axe there and speed up your time even faster. Or speed up your time even more. Remember what I said about the bark of the tree. You see this tree and that tree has the same bark, and I can chop it down. But these kinds of trees, or shrub trees, cannot be chopped down. So when in doubt, carve it out. Now when you know how to get stone and wood and sticks, as well as alnus, you might want to know how to get clay and water. Clay you can find at streams, and it's these weird looking pockets, almost like fungus. And to get the clay you need your pickaxe and you just swing at it. And now to something more survivalish. Water. Without water you will die. Just as in real life. But right now you can't get water from streams like this, which is kind of sad, because in a real life situation you want to get the water from a fast moving source. So just follow the direction of the water and you will come to a pond. You want to make sure that you get the water symbol at your bottom left. That looks like a tap and running water. Then what you want to do is you want to open your inventory, make sure to have an empty container. In the beginning you will most likely have an empty tin can. Go to crafting, search for water, and you see what you need to make it, and craft. And then it will fill up the container with murky water. So, we have murky water, we have stone, we have wood. If you have done some basic looting, you will have found matches or a lighter. But you want to make a campfire. 3 wood and 5 stones. Pretty simple stuff, and you get that very fast. Drag it down to your inventory and look for a spot where you can place it. Okay, so it did not want to let me place it down there for some reason, but let's just place it up here. So to cook your water, it's pretty straightforward. Open your campfire, put in some wood, put in your water, and your source of lightning. In this case I have a lighter. Turn the stove on, well, campfire on. Select boiled water can, and craft. Then you can leave it and you can enjoy the scenery, collect some more firewood. Or in my case, I have an unwanted visitor nearby. So let's show you just some basic combat. Equipping my machete. 1 slice, 2 slice. You want to back away from them, because when they attack, they usually just stop. And 3. And he dead. They usually drop some stuff. In this case he dropped some screws, which I will pick up, because screws and nails are very good items to pick up, as well as iron stuff. So, now my can of water is done. I can turn off my campfire, and I can drink my water. The can of water gives you the least amount of water in the game, and you want to find large bottles of water. And they work the same way. You drink it, you fill it with murky water, and you purify it at your campfire. Later on, when you make your base, you will be able to create dew collectors that will give you fresh drinking water every day, and after that you will be able to put water pumps in your base or around your base that will pump more water that you can store. Another resource you want is obviously food, and the easiest way to get food is to hunt the deers. Either you make a crossbow and kill them with 2 shots, or if you only found a melee weapon, you can just run up to them and stab them. And to get the food, all you need is a bladed weapon, and you just cut them 4 times. Well, usually 4 times. And you get some meat, some animal fat, you can even get leather. But raw meat like this you can't do anything with, so we have to go back into crafting and search for steak. And then craft. And if I'm not mistaken, each slab of raw meat will give you 2 steaks. No, 3 steaks, my bad. If you were like me and built your base near the supermarket for the close proximity of crafting supplies as well as food and water, this lake will be a good way to get water, but it has 2 nasty surprises, and that is these crocodiles. For a new player it might be pretty expensive to kill the crocodiles because they require a lot of ammo, even with the crossbow. But once they're dead, you have an excellent source of animal fat, food, and you can even get tough crocodile skin that I for the moment have no idea what I can use them for. But every time you want to get water down here, you will have these 2 crocodiles to deal with. So I do recommend the area that I were at before, just south from here. It has no crocodiles, and you don't have to deal with them. So, now we have some food, we have some murky water, and we have a campfire. So, to prepare all of this, make sure you have wood in the campfire, your lighter, the food you want to cook, as well as the murky water you want to purify. Turn it on, select what you want to do. In my case, I want to start with purifying the large water bottle. And while that is cooking, I will show you how to make your first set of tools. So let's say you have punctured trees, your rock, and your alnus tree to get the alnus plant. Go into crafting, fiber, craft, Keep in mind that every time you craft something so far, it will reset your recipe window, so keep that in mind, it will be changed later on. Now when we have some fiber, we want to make our axe. Stone axe, 1 stick, 1 stone. And of course I completed a task because I haven't done the tutorial myself. Because I started on another server, so I learned myself the basics over there. And I craft the pickaxe. And there we go. I have my basic tools. These tools are also needed later on when you want to start building. Because if you play online, you want to make a crest that will claim your area so no one can destroy items there, and you want to lock your doors so no one can walk into your base and take stuff. It will also be added later on so that when you have your mouse over the items, it will tell you what it is. Because right now it does not do that, and a lot of people have complained about it, so the developer will add that as well in an upcoming update. But for you who see this and listen, I can tell you that the items is a stone axe, a stone pickaxe, a silicone tube, 2 metal rings, 2 rubber strings, and 125 planks. But more about that in an upcoming video where I will teach you the basics of making a base. If you realized when you're making your first set of tools that you don't have enough sticks but you have some logs, what you can do is go to crafting, search for sticks, and you can make some. 1 log will give you 3 sticks. It will wear out your axe, so keep that in mind. But then you just select craft it and you will have some more sticks. So let's see here now. The water is done, and let's just grill some food. You want to make sure that your character is hydrated and fed, because if anything goes down to 0, like the food or water, you will start to take damage. It does not give you like a grace period where it reminds you, hey, you need to eat or drink. It will just tell you straight away, you're dying. Keep in mind that a campfire like this is the basics of the basic when it comes to food, so you don't have that many recipes available to you. You can make an animal fat candle, roasted chicken, corn on a stick, and so on. When you level up your character, well, not really your character, but when you find more materials, you find books with new recipes, you will be able to craft more ways of cooking food. Like the fireplace cooker, that will allow you to make more advanced recipes like beef stew. Later on you will unlock a food bench that you can process different ingredients and make, for example, hamburgers. You also have an electric stove, a brick oven so you can make breads and baguettes. So the more you play, the more items you find and learn, the more you can do. The sound you just heard tells us that a horde is nearby and looking for me, and since I'm standing outside of my base in the open, they will most likely find me. So before my character gets jumped by whatever alien might be lurking towards me, I'm going to give him some water to drink and eat some of the grilled steaks. Some food, like the grilled steak, will remove hydration, as you saw. So keep in mind that when you eat food, start by eating to feel your hunger and then your hydration, just to make sure your character have enough hydration and don't lose any. In my own opinion, you lose hunger and food a bit too fast, so you have to keep eating very often. Even if you upgrade your, stomach to hold more food and water, I still think it drops too fast. So you have to constantly eat and drink. But that's enough for this video. Next time I will teach you how to make your first base and different ways of making your first base depending on how much time and resources you have to make it. Until next time, stay safe, stay prepared, and stay alive out there, my friends.